In March 2018, the Defense Research Agency DARPA announced a bold initiative to develop next-generation neurotechnology. They aren't just looking for better interfaces, they are building the hardware to directly merge human brains with machines. This includes voice-to-skull technology, a system that uses directed energy to transmit voices directly into a person's mind. DARPA calls this synthetic telepathy, framing the human consciousness as the ultimate digital battlefield. We are told these are the bleeding-edge discoveries of the 21st century. At the same time, the ancient Indian scriptures that describe these exact mental projections have been dismissed for generations as mere myth and superstition. Yet, when you compare the mechanical goals of these billion-dollar projects with the capabilities documented in the Vedas, a parallel emerges. The West is attempting to achieve through physical microchips, with the ancient sages described as a mastery of quantum resonance. If the science of the past was suppressed, the high-tech future we are currently being sold looks less like an invention and more like a clumsy, hardware-dependent attempt to reclaim that forgotten knowledge. The Western military approach has always relied on physical intervention. In the 1960s, DARPA's Project Pandora studied using microwave radiation to control behavior, while sensor darts were hurled into the jungles of Vietnam, acting as electronic eyes and ears. This reliance on physical machinery is rooted in behaviorism. Psychologists like B.F. Skinner viewed human behavior as something to be conditioned and controlled via external mechanical stimuli, effectively treating the mind like a box to be rewired. That philosophy has evolved into projects like Moana, which aims to read brain activity by reprogramming neurons with synthetic proteins designed to absorb light, requiring the user to wear specialized skull caps to interpret the data. The final step in this physical evolution is gene editing. DARPA has investigated using tools like CRISPR to permanently alter brain cells, turning the human body into a permanent receiver for machine instructions. This methodology is a brute force hack of the human biology. By forcing hardware into the brain, it creates massive technical vulnerabilities and risks permanent, irreversible harm to the individual. In contrast, the ancient Indian sciences focused on the invisible realms of energy. While the modern military operates in the world of physical wires, the sages mastered the world of frequency. A mantra functions through precise sound energy. Chanting specific sequences generates resonant frequencies, producing scalar waves. These waves interact directly with the human neural network. The frequency harmonizes with the brain's electrical activity, allowing cognitive expansion without damaging the biological structure. This isn't just theory. It aligns with the foundations of modern physics. In the 1800s, James Clerk Maxwell's work on electromagnetism led to the discovery of these exact scalar waves, documented in India thousands of years earlier. These records, found in the Mahaveda and the elusive Fifth Veda, provide a technical framework for what we now call synthetic telepathy. They outline a method of achieving superintelligence through resonance rather than radiation. Ancient Indian science suggests that the godlike connection the military is chasing can be achieved harmlessly. It requires the mastery of sound and frequency, not the destruction of our DNA. The risks of the modern approach are already being analyzed. The Rand Corporation has warned about a trust deficit in these technologies, citing concerns over mental privacy, institutional hacking, and the erosion of human relationships. Some architects of modern policy, like Zbigniew Brzezinski, even predicted a society dominated by an elite group using these techniques to bypass traditional values and keep populations under close surveillance and control. This physical, invasive path to mind control leads to a dystopian outcome. However, the non-destructive quantum frameworks preserved in India offer an entirely different methodology for human advancement. Reclaiming this science requires a shift in perspective. If these scriptures are researched not as religious poems, but as technical records of quantum mechanics, they provide a blueprint for a frequency-based future. While military laboratories continue to race toward an invasive, hardware-driven future, the framework for a safer, resonant alternative has been waiting in the records of the past all along.